Hello, hi dear viewers. Let me allow once again to share my views on the procedural law of the GST and particularly in relation to the post COVID 19 era. And it's also my humble request to subscribe and like the video to be in continuous communication and the value addition. In my previous video, I have tried to lay the foundation of GST on procedural law with precise provision of the GST return in the GST Act. In this video, I will try my best to explain you the provisions contained in notification number 30 2020 to notification number 36 2020 and one circular bearing the number 136 oblique 06 oblique 2020. All these notifications and circular aimed to provide the relief and ease to the taxpayer going through the pain of vicious lockdown throughout the country due to the corona effect. With all your permission, let's introduce with these notification. All these notifications has been effected from 3rd April 2020 and these notifications are notification number 30 to notification number 36 2020. Notification number 30 2020 is for opting the composition scheme for the financial year 2020-21 and rule 36 sub rule 4. We will discuss the rule 30. This rule is actually the rule for ITC capping. I hope you must be aware about the fact that there is the ITC capping has been introduced recently, and due to this ITC capping a taxpayer cannot avail the input tax credit more than 10%. Previously it was the 20%, then again it was substituted with the 10%. 10% of total eligible ITC which is appearing in GSTR 2A. This means maximum ITC what a taxpayer can avail is the ITC which is booked in the books of accounts and not more than the 10% of ITC, eligible ITC which is appearing in the GSTR 2A. We will discuss this sub rule also in detail in the latter part of the discussion. Then we have the notification number 31 and 32 of 2020. This notification is about the waiver of interest and late fee in relation to GSTR 3B. This is in relation to GSTR 3B. Of what? This is the waiver of the interest and late fee. I hope you must be aware about the late fee. We have already discussed in our previous video. Late fee under section 47 of the GST Act. Then we will discuss notification number 33 2020 which is late fee waiver for GSTR 1. 30 and 32 is for the waiver of interest and late fee of GSTR 3B. 33 is for the late fee waiver. There is no interest waiver because in GSTR 1 there is no question of the interest, because interest is only applicable on your tax liability and GSTR 1 is not the tax liability, it is the statement of the outward supply. Then we will discuss 34 2020. This is extension of the due date of CMP 08 and GSTR 4. This is again in relation to the composition scheme. 35 2020 is for the extension of the date of all compliances like issuance of the SCN, filing of the appeal and others, all compliances, and extension of the validity of e-waybill in certain cases. And then 36 2020, this is due date for furnishing the return of the GSTR, due date for furnishing the GSTR 3B in relation to month of May 2020. Then we will also discuss the circular number 136/6 2020. This is the relief measures announced by the government in view of the spread of the novel coronavirus. So these are the 6 notifications along with one circular which we are going to discuss. But before we are going to discuss further, please allow me to brief you upon the composition scheme, because out of the 6 notifications, 2 notification is related to the composition schemes. So for the better understanding of the notification number 30 and 34, which is related to the composition scheme, we must have the better understanding of the composition scheme and legal frame of the composition scheme. So before I would like to brief notification number 30 and 34, but for this understanding I must use my privilege to explain the composition scheme in brief and legal position in relation to composition scheme. So let's move to the preliminary analysis of the composition scheme. During the preliminary analysis of the composition scheme, we will discuss the 6 points. First, legal frame. For the composition scheme, we have the legal frame. Section 10 of the CGST Act is related to the composition scheme. Section 10 with its 5 subsections. Section 10 has the 5 subsections along with one newly inserted subsection 2A, which have the prime importance. So section 10 along with the 5 subsections read with CGST rules 3 to 7. In next part, second part, we will discuss analysis of the amendment in section 10. I am telling you there are 14 amendments in the section 10 till the date. I mean from 1st July 2017 when the GST Act has been introduced. From that date till date, there are the 14 amendments in section 10. So we will also discuss about the amendment in the section 10. Next, we will discuss notification number 14/2019. This notification has introduced the limit for opting the composition scheme. Initially, it was 50 lakh, but again it has been enhanced to the 150 lakh. We have to also discuss the applicability of the section 18. Section 18 is the ITC in special circumstances. So, if you are a normal taxpayer and you are opting for the composition scheme, what will be the ITC in relation to the stock which you are holding immediately before going into the composition scheme? Again, if you are a person, if you are a taxpayer who are registered in the composition scheme and you are opting for the normal procedure of the GST, then whether you are eligible for avail the ITC or not on your stocks and capital goods. So for this understanding, we have to discuss the issues covered in the section 10. Section 18. Section 18 deals with the ITC in special circumstances. Next, we will also discuss the insertion of proviso. When we will discuss the amendment in the section 10, we will discuss the insertion of a proviso, a special proviso. Why this is special? This insertion of proviso is special because initially composition scheme was only applicable for the supplier of the goods. But later on, through the insertion of the provision in section 10 subsection 1, it has also been applicable to the supplier of the services to some extent. So we will also say this thing. And we will also understand the rates given in the section 10 subsection 1. What is the rate for the composition scheme is given in section 10 subsection 1, and also it is given in rule 7. So what is the difference between these two rates? What is these two rates? So these we are going to discuss. So let's start with our first we are going to discuss the composition scheme, and in the composition scheme first part we are going to discuss, it is the composition scheme section 10. तो सबसे पहले मैं आपके साथ composition scheme section 10 डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. सेक्शन 10 मैं लाइन बाय लाइन आपके सामने पढ़ रहा हूं, आराम से पढ़ रहा हूं, सो दैट यू कैन गेट द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द सेक्शन 10। सेक्शन 10 पहले मैं पढ़ रहा हूं, फिर हम सेक्शन 10 के ऊपर जो अमेंडमेंट्स हुए हैं, सेक्शन 10 में जो 14 अमेंडमेंट्स हैं, जब से आई है तब से लेकर के अब तक 14 अमेंडमेंट्स टोटल हो चुके हैं, जो इंपॉर्टेंट अमेंडमेंट्स हैं उसके बारे में हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे। हाउ द सेक्शन 10 स्टार्ट्स, इट सेज notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this act, but subject to the provision of subsection 3 and subsection 4 of section 9. Point to be noted, subject to the provision of subsection 3 and subsection 4 of section 9. I must make you remember that subsection 3 and subsection 4 of section 9 is related to the reverse charge mechanism. Section 9, we have the 5 parts in the section 9. Section 9 subsection 1 is for the FCM liability. Section 9 subsection 2 is for the supply not liable for the GST, that means petroleum products. Section 9 subsection 3 and section 9 subsection 4 is for the RCM. Section 9 subsection 5 is the notified services upon which operator is liable to pay the taxes. So what it says, notwithstanding anything contained in this act, but subject to the provision of subsection 3 and subsection 4 of the section 9. This means section 10 is not going to be applicable for the person. This means section 10 has no effect on section 9.3 and section 9.4. A registered person whose aggregate turnover in preceding financial year did not exceed 50 lakh rupees. Please note this. Here the word is whose, what is the aggregate turnover, does not exceed 50 lakh rupee, may opt to pay in lieu of the tax payable by him under subsection 1 of section 9 an amount of tax calculated at such rate as may be prescribed but not exceeding. This means what? Introductory line of the section 10 subsection 1 says कि subject to section 9.3 and section 9.4. This means section 10 has the no application on the section 9.3 and section 9.4. This means what? If a person who is liable to pay the tax under the RCM, he will pay, he is continued to pay the tax under the RCM under the normal provision, irrespective of his any turnover. This means composition scheme is not applicable for the person who is liable to pay the tax under the RCM. So if I am a person, if I am receiving any services, for example, I am receiving the legal services, I am a taxable person, I am receiving the legal services from the advocate. Legal services from the advocate is covered under this RCM. So irrespective of the fact whether I am covered, whether I have opted for the composition scheme or not, I am liable to pay the tax under the RCM at the normal rate. So this is applicable only, what it says, this is applicable only for the person. This means composition scheme is applicable for the registered person who is liable to pay the tax under the FCM. So if you are liable to pay the tax under the FCM, that is under section 9 subsection 1, in that case you have the option. If your aggregate turnover is lower than the 50 lakh, I will tell you this 50 lakh becomes now 150 lakh as per the notification number 14 2019. Just wait. But if your turnover does not exceed 50 lakh, you have the option to pay the taxes either under section 9 subsection 1, that is under the FCM provision, under the normal provision of that, or instead of that you may opt to pay an amount of tax calculated at such rate as may be prescribed but not exceeding. I am telling you, you will also read the rate is also prescribed, the composition rate is also prescribed in Rule 7. Rule 7 is the actually effective rate of the composition scheme. Whatever the rate is given in section 10 subsection 1, this is the maximum rate. This is the maximum rate of the composition scheme. This is not the effective rate. effective rate of the composition scheme is given in the rule 7. So what is the maximum rate for the composition scheme? We have the three rates. First, 1% of the turnover in state or turnover in union territory in case of the manufacturer. This means if you are a manufacturer, your turnover is lower than 50 lakh. In that case, you are liable to pay the tax at any rate but not exceeding 1%. At any rate but not exceeding 1%. And at any rate means what will be the rate then actually? That rate is given in the rule 7. That rate is given in the rule 7. We will go to the rule 7 also. So 1% maximum rate in case you are a manufacturer. 2.5% of the turnover in state or turnover in union territory in case person engaged in making the supplies referred to in clause B of paragraph 6 of schedule 2. I hope you remember what is schedule 2. Schedule 2 is classifying what supply shall be regarded as the supply of goods and what supply shall be regarded as the supply of the services. In paragraph 6 of schedule 2, there are the two types of the services. One is the works contract services, which is given in the A, and B is the services which we normally call, in trade parlance we call these services as restaurant services. So composition scheme is applicable, not applicable to the works contract services, it is applicable to the restaurant services only. And restaurant services is the services which is given in clause B of paragraph 6 of schedule 2. So if you are a person and if your turnover is less than the 50 lakh, then you can opt for the composition scheme. In case you are dealing in the restaurant services, in that case, the rate will not be in excess of 2.5%. This means a restaurant service provider may opt for the composition scheme and he will pay the tax maximum at the rate of the 2.5%. Rule 7 may keep the rate below than the 2.5%, but Rule 7 cannot keep the rate higher than the 2.5% in case you are a person who is dealing in the restaurant services and eligible for the composition scheme. And the third rate is 0.5% of the turnover in a state or turnover in union territory in case of other supplier. So as per the section 10 subsection 1, we have the three rates. First rate is the 1% in case of the manufacturer, maximum rate 1%. In case you are the restaurant service provider, 2.5%, and 0.5% in other cases. This is the maximum rate. This is not the effective rate. Effective rate is given in the rule 7. Next, subject to such condition and restrictions as may be prescribed. Right? Now, this was the section 10 subsection 1. Section 10 subsection 1 has the two proviso and one explanation. Section 10 subsection 1 has the two proviso and one explanation. So first, I am reading out again the basic part of the section 10 subsection 1. Then we will continue with the proviso. Basic part of section 10 subsection 1. Again I am reading for your better understanding. Notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in this act, but subject to the provision of subsection 3 and subsection 4 of section 9, a registered person whose aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year did not exceed 50 lakh rupees may opt to pay in lieu of tax payable by him under subsection 1 of subsection 9 an amount of tax calculated at such rate as may be prescribed but not exceeding number A, 1% of the turnover in state or turnover in union territory in case of a manufacturer, 2.5% of turnover in state or turnover in union territory in case of person engaged in making supplies referred to in clause B of paragraph 6 of schedule 2, that is restaurant services. This was B. C, 0.5% of the turnover in state or turnover in union territory in case of other suppliers, subject to such conditions and restrictions as may be prescribed. So this is the mother section of section 10 subsection 1. Now we are going through the proviso. Proviso means exceptions of section 10 subsection 1. What are the exceptions? There are two proviso. First proviso is provided that government may by notification increase the said limit of 50 lakh to such higher amount not exceeding 1 crore 50 lakh rupees as may be recommended by the council. This means this 50 lakh may be increased up to 150 lakh, and this has been increased actually by way of the notification number 14 oblique 2019. So today any person whose aggregate turnover is below than the 150 lakh, he can opt for the composition scheme provided other conditions of section 10 has been satisfied. Done. So first proviso is this. Second proviso has been inserted by the Goods and Service Tax Amendment Act 2018. It has been inserted. It was the third amendment. This was provided further that a person who opts to pay tax under clause A or clause B or clause C, this means as manufacturer, as restaurant service provider or any other, may supply services. First, this means it has been amended. This was the amendment number 3, and this has been amended through the Central Goods and Service Tax Amendment Act 2018. This means before this amendment, service provider are not eligible for the composition scheme. But after the insertion of this amendment, after the insertion of this proviso, a service provider is also eligible for opting the composition scheme to some extent. This means what it says, provided further that a person who opts to pay tax under clause A or clause B or clause C may supply services. He may supply services other than those referred to in clause B, paragraph 6 of schedule 2, because it has already been included. So there is no use of saying this. Of value not exceeding 10% of the turnover in a state or union territory in preceding financial year or 5 lakh rupees, whichever is higher. This means if a person is providing the services as well as goods, this means if it is the case of the mixed supply, that person, this means a person who is providing the services can also avail the benefit of the composition scheme. He can also opt for the composition scheme provided. To which extent? Either the 10% of his supply of services cannot exceed the 10% of the total value of the supply or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. So whatever is higher, this means up to rupees 5 lakh. Maximum limit is 5 lakh. Supply of services, if you are doing a supply, and if you are doing the supply of services, and if it is up to rupees 5 lakh, you can opt for the composition scheme. So service provider is also eligible for opting the composition scheme. We will also discuss, I will discuss this thing later on, because in case of the services, there is also the new scheme of the composition scheme is also there. So we will discuss this later on. So these are the two provisos. So section 10 subsection 1 has been divided into two parts. First one is the mother section, then two proviso. Mother section says who can opt for the composition scheme. It says any person subject to subsection 3 and subsection 4 of the section 9. Any person can opt for the composition scheme provided his turnover is below than the 50 lakh. And if he is opting the composition scheme, he is not required to pay the tax under section 9 subsection 1, that is in FCM scheme. He can opt to pay the tax at a rate which cannot exceed. In case he is a manufacturer, 1%. In case he is a restaurant service provider, 0.5%. In case other than manufacturer and restaurant service provider, it is 0.5%. This is the mother section. Two proviso has been given. What two proviso? This means if the government wants, government may increase the limit of the composition scheme up to rupees 150 lakh. This means 1 crore 50 lakh, and government has increased the limit in view of the notification number 14/2019. Other, though before the prior to the amendment of the 2018, service provider was not eligible to avail the composition scheme, but after the insertion of the proviso and amendment in 2018, a service provider can avail the composition scheme provided his turnover, this means service provider, how service provider can avail? Provided, what is the limit? His value of supply from the service cannot exceed the 10% of the total value or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. So this is section 10 subsection 1. Section 10 subsection 2 says the registered person shall be eligible to opt for the composition scheme if. This means in section 10 subsection 2 we are saying who is eligible to avail the composition scheme. So who is eligible to avail the composition scheme? First he says, save as provided in subsection 1, he is not engaged in the supply of the services except section 10 subsection 1. This means there is also an amendment. This was the amendment number 4. This is the amendment number 4, 2018. Before the 2018 section, this simply says service provider is not eligible. But now he is not saying simply service provider. This has been amended, save as provided in subsection 1. Because in subsection 1 there has been there is an insertion of proviso, and as per the proviso, service provider can avail the composition scheme to some extent. So herein it says, save as provided in the subsection 1, he is not engaged in the supply of the services. This means if he is covered within the proviso of the section 10 subsection 1, then even if he is the service provider, he can avail the composition scheme. Otherwise, if he is a supplier of the services, he cannot avail the composition scheme. Next, he is not engaged in making any interstate outward supply of goods or services. This services word has been introduced in Finance Act 2020. This means prior to the finance amendment through the Finance Act 2020, there was only, it is related for the goods. The person should not be engaged in interstate supply of goods. But herein, after the goods, services word has been introduced. This means if you are providing interstate supply of goods or services, you are not eligible for the composition scheme. Then he is not engaged in making of any supply of goods or services through an electronic commerce operator. Again, after the goods, herein services word has been introduced and inserted, through an electronic commerce operator who is required to collect the tax under section 52. So this means if you are selling the goods through e-commerce operator who is required to collect the tax under section 52, you are not eligible to avail the composition scheme. He is not a manufacturer of the such goods as may be notified by the government. Tobacco, ice cream, these are the goods which has been notified by the government. So even if you are the manufacturer of these goods means notified goods, you cannot avail the composition scheme. He is neither a casual taxable person nor a non-resident taxable person. This means these persons are not eligible to avail the composition scheme. Again, there is the proviso after section 10 subsection 2. And what is the proviso? Provided that where more than one registered person are having the same permanent account number, the registered person shall not be eligible to opt for the scheme under subsection 1 unless all such registered person opt to pay tax under that subsection. For example, I am a registered person. I am registered in Delhi as well as in Noida as well as in Haryana, Gurgaon. So if I am opting for the, of course, I must. If I am registered in the 3 states, I must have the 3 GSTN number. And you know, as per the section 25 subsection 3 and 4, if you have the more than one GSTN number upon the same permanent on a single PIN number, all those GSTNs shall be regarded as the distinct person. So even though those are regarded as the distinct person, but if you have more than one GSTN number on the same pen and you have opted for composition scheme at one GSTN, then you have to apply the composition scheme on all GSTN which is linked to the same permanent account number. What I mean to say, if I have taken the registration in Delhi, I am a registered person, I am taken registration in Delhi as well as in Noida as well as in Gurgaon. This means 3 states. If I am opting for the composition scheme in Delhi, I have to apply the composition scheme at all my GSTN without any exception. So this is 2. Another is section 2A. This is very important amendment, and section 2A has been inserted through the Finance Act 2019, and it is effective from the notification number 1 2020. So what is 2A? 2A is very important amendment. This is very important. Listen it carefully. What 2A says: notwithstanding anything contrary contained in this act, but subject to the provision of subsection 3 and subsection 4 of the section 9. Again, same. A registered person not eligible to opt to pay tax under subsection 1 and subsection 2. Subsection 1 and subsection 2 of what? Subsection 1 and subsection 2 of section 10. Whose aggregate turnover in preceding financial year did not exceed 50 lakh rupees may opt to pay in lieu of the tax payable by him under subsection 1 of the section 9 an amount of tax calculated at such rate as may be prescribed but not exceeding 3% of the turnover in state or turnover in union territory if he is not engaged in making any supply of goods or services which are not liable to tax under this act, engaged in making any interstate outward supply of goods or services, engaged in making any supply of goods or services through electronic commerce operator who is required to collect tax at source under section 52, a manufacturer of such goods or supplier of such services as may be notified by the government, and a casual taxable person or a non-resident taxable person. What it says, if a person who is not covered under section 10(1) or not covered under section 10(2), यानी कि सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 में भी वो एलिजिबल नहीं है कंपोजिशन स्कीम के लिए, सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 2 में भी वो एलिजिबल नहीं है कंपोजिशन स्कीम के लिए, फिर भी अगर वो चाहे तो कंपोजिशन स्कीम में पार्टिसिपेट कर सकता है और सब्जेक्ट टू सबसेक्शन 3 एंड सबसेक्शन 4 ऑफ सेक्शन 9, यानी कि आरसीएम का प्रोविजन जैसे एप्लीकेबल हो रहा था वैसे एप्लीकेबल होगा, जो भी हम लोगों ने एक्सप्लेन किया। वो चाहे तो एफसीएम के बजाय यदि उसका टर्नओवर 50 लाख से नीचे है तो इंस्टीड ऑफ द एफसीएम अंडर सेक्शन 9 सबसेक्शन 1 he may opt to pay the tax at the prescribed rate which cannot exceed 3%. This is what I am calling about the new scheme of the composition scheme. This is the new scheme of the composition scheme, and as per this insertion of this section, all service provider is also covered under the composition scheme. This means what I am saying, सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 में सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स, क्योंकि सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 में सर्विस प्रोवाइडर कवर्ड नहीं थे, केवल वही सर्विस प्रोवाइडर कवर्ड थे जो सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 के प्रोविजो में आ रहे थे, यानी कि दे आर कवर्ड बट टू द सम एक्सटेंट। कंप्लीटली कवरेज सर्विस प्रोवाइडर का नहीं था कंपोजिशन स्कीम में। सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 2 वो तो बस यही बता ही रहा था कि हु इज एलिजिबल फॉर द कंपोजिशन स्कीम। तो जो सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 में कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट नहीं कर सकता, जो सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 2 में कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट नहीं कर सकता, तो वो सेक्शन 2A में कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट कर सकता है, विच इज इंसर्टेड। और सेक्शन, दिस इज द 9th अमेंडमेंट, एंड दिस अमेंडमेंट हैज बीन टेकन फ्रॉम द फाइनेंस एक्ट 2019 और नोटिफिकेशन नंबर इसका 1/2020। और वो ये कह रहा है कि जो उन दोनों में कवर्ड नहीं है वो भी कंपोजिशन स्कीम को ऑप्ट कर सकता है, प्रोवाइडेड टर्नओवर उनकी कितनी होनी चाहिए, 50 लाख से नीचे होनी चाहिए। दिस मीन्स आज की डेट में कोई भी सर्विस प्रोवाइडर जिनका टर्नओवर 50 लाख से नीचे है और अगर वो स्पेसिफिकली कैटेगोरिकली अगर वो कंपोजिशन स्कीम से बाहर नहीं होते, कैटेगोरिकली बाहर नहीं होते मतलब सेक्शन 2A में ABCDE 5 पोजीशन दिए गए हैं जिस केस में कि आप कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट नहीं कर सकते। यदि आप उस 5 पोजीशन में, 5 पोजीशन का मतलब क्या है, आप एग्जम्प्टेड गुड्स की सप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप इंटर स्टेट सप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेशन के थ्रू सप्लाई नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप वैसे नोटिफाइड गुड्स का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं, नोटिफाइड गुड्स की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं, लाइक आइसक्रीम, टोबैको, इसकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग आप नहीं कर रहे हैं, आप कैजुअल टैक्सेबल पर्सन या नॉन रेसिडेंट टैक्सेबल पर्सन नहीं है। अगर इस 5 में आप फॉल नहीं करते हैं और आपकी टर्नओवर 50 लाख से नीचे है तो भले ही आप सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 में या सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 2 में कंपोजिशन स्कीम के लिए एलिजिबल नहीं है, लेकिन सेक्शन 2A में आप कंपोजिशन स्कीम के लिए एलिजिबल है। लेकिन सेक्शन 2A में यदि आप कंपोजिशन स्कीम के लिए एलिजिबल हैं तो उस केस में जो टैक्स रेट आपके लिए एप्लीकेबल होगा, मैक्सिमम टैक्स रेट, दिस विल बी 3%. This means a service provider can opt for the composition scheme, but in that case he has to pay the tax at the rate of the 3%. This means this is the maximum rate, but this is also the effective rate as per the rule 7. तो उसे जो टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा वो 3% से टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा। I hope I am clear. I am going through the section 3. Section 3 is the option availed by the registered person under subsection 10, under subsection 10 subsection 1. Under section 10 subsection 1 or subsection 2A shall lapse with the effect from the day on which his aggregate turnover during the financial year exceeds the limit specified. Of course, जैसे ही 50 लाख से आप जो भी स्पेसिफाइड टर्नओवर है उससे जैसे ही आपकी टर्नओवर एक्सीड हुई, इट विल बी लैप्स. दिस इज सेक्शन 3. Subsection 3. A taxable person to whom the provision of subsection 1 or 2A applies shall not collect any tax from the recipient on supplies made by him, nor shall be entitled to take credit. जो कंपोजिशन स्कीम अगर आपने ऑप्ट किया है तो कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट करने की वजह से ना तो आप ITC ले सकते हैं और ना ही आप कोई टैक्स इनवॉइस इशू कर सकते हैं। जो भी रेट दिया गया है आपको टैक्स अपने पॉकेट से पे करना है, फ्रॉम योर ओन पॉकेट. यू आर नॉट एलिजिबल, यू डोंट हैव एनी ऑप्शन टू रिकवर द टैक्स. और जिसने कंपोजिशन स्कीम से परचेस किया है वो क्रेडिट भी इसकी नहीं ले सकता है. एंड नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू द लास्ट सबसेक्शन. इफ द प्रॉपर ऑफिसर हैज रीजन टू बिलीव दैट टैक्सेबल पर्सन हैज पेड टैक्स अंडर सबसेक्शन 1 और सबसेक्शन 2A डिस्पाइट नॉट बीइंग एलिजिबल, such person shall, in addition to any tax that may be payable by him under any other provision of this act, be liable to a penalty, and the provision of section 73 and section 74 shall mutatis mutandis apply for determination of the tax liability. आप एलिजिबल नहीं थे कंपोजिशन स्कीम के लिए, फिर भी आपने इलीगली कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट कर लिया. अगर आपने ऑप्ट किया है तो आपके ऊपर जो भी टैक्स अलॉन्ग विद द इंटरेस्ट, जो भी पेनल्टी बनती है वो आपको पे करना पड़ेगा. और यदि आप पे नहीं करते हैं तो आपके ऊपर SCN सेंड किया जा सकता है अंडर सेक्शन 73, 74. मैं आपको बताऊं 73, 74 इज़ अ वेरी वाइड सेक्शन, हम लोग अलग से डिस्कस करेंगे. अभी फिलहाल बस आप इतना समझ लीजिए कि सेक्शन 73, 74 गिव्स द राइट टू द प्रॉपर ऑफिसर टू इनिशिएट द SCN in case he thinks कि willingly और unwillingly SSC ने कोई लॉ कॉन्ट्रावीन किया है which affects the revenue. So वो SCN रेज करेगा 73 और 74 में. So this is section 10. ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ सेक्शन 10 है कंपोजिशन स्कीम का. कंपोजिशन स्कीम का सेक्शन 10 फटाफट रिवाइज कर रहे हैं. कंपोजिशन स्कीम सेक्शन 10 5 सबसेक्शन. सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 ये क्या कहता है कि यदि सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 में यदि आपकी टर्नओवर 50 लाख से नीचे है तो सब्जेक्ट टू सबसेक्शन 3 यानी कि RCM की प्रोविजन जैसे एप्लीकेबल हो रही है वैसे ही एप्लीकेबल होगी आपके ऊपर RCM के ऊपर. इसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. बट यदि आपकी बीइंग ए सप्लायर, यदि आपकी टर्नओवर 50 लाख से ऊपर है तो आप FCM में यानी कि सेक्शन 9(1) में टैक्स पे करने के बजाय आप स्पेशल स्कीम में टैक्स पे कर सकते हैं. और अगर आप स्पेशल स्कीम ऑप्ट करते हैं तो सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 ये कहता है कि जो मैक्सिमम रेट आपको लगेगा, यदि आप मैन्युफैक्चरर हैं तो 1% की रेट लगेगी आपको, यदि आप रेस्टोरेंट सर्विस प्रोवाइडर हैं तो 2.5%, और यदि आप अदर्स हैं तो 0.5% का रेट आपके ऊपर एप्लीकेबल होगा मैक्सिमम। दो प्रोवाइजो इसमें दिए गए हैं। पहला प्रोवाइजो ये कहता है कि ये 50 लाख 1.5 करोड़ तक एक्सीड किया जा सकता है, और दूसरा ये कहता है कि जो सर्विस प्रोवाइडर हैं, सर्विस प्रोवाइडर भी कंपोजिशन स्कीम का बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं, प्रोवाइडेड जो वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई फ्रॉम द सर्विसेज है वो 10% ऑफ टोटल सप्लाई हो या फिर 5 लाख, विच एवर इज हाइयर। यदि इसमें ये फॉल करते हैं तो वो क्या कहते हैं, कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट कर सकते हैं। सबसेक्शन 2 ये बताता है कि कौन कौन नहीं ले सकते हैं। अगर आप एग्जम्प्टेड गुड्स कर रहे हैं, एग्जम्प्टेड गुड्स में डील कर रहे हैं तो आप कंपोजिशन स्कीम नहीं ले सकते। इंटर स्टेट सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स और सर्विसेज कर रहे हैं तो नहीं ले सकते हैं। अगर आप ई कॉमर्स के थ्रू अपने गुड्स और सर्विसेज को सेल कर रहे हैं तो आप नहीं ले सकते। अगर आप मैन्युफैक्चरर हैं नोटिफाइड गुड्स के तो आप कंपोजिशन स्कीम नहीं ले सकते। यदि आप कैजुअल टैक्सेबल पर्सन है और नॉन रेसिडेंट टैक्सेबल पर्सन है तो आप नहीं ले सकते हैं। सेक्शन 2A क्या कहता है कि जो कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट नहीं कर पाए जिन्होंने सेक्शन 10 सबसेक्शन 1 में और 2 में, वो भी कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट कर सकते हैं यदि उनकी टर्नओवर 50 लाख से नीचे हो। लेकिन अगर वो 2A में कंपोजिशन स्कीम को ऑप्ट करते हैं तो मैक्सिमम रेट यानी कि जो रेट एप्लीकेबल होगा, स्पेशल रेट उनके लिए, वो 3% का रेट एप्लीकेबल होगा। 3%, अभी हम CGST कर रहे हैं तो 3% इज फॉर द CGST, मतलब इफेक्टिव रेट उनका 6%, 3% CGST, 3% SGST। 4 ये कहता है कि यदि एक बार आपने कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट कर लिया तो उसके बाद 2A हो गया। 2A के बाद हम लोग 3 कर रहे थे। 3 में द इंपॉर्टेंट इज कि कंपोजिशन स्कीम आपकी लैप्स कर जाएगी जैसे ही आपका टर्नओवर एक्सीड करेगा। कैसे एंट्री करेंगे कंपोजिशन स्कीम में, कैसे विड्रॉ करेंगे, इसके ऊपर अभी हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे आगे। इंटाइटल्ड, क्रेडिट के लिए इंटाइटल्ड नहीं है कंपोजिशन स्कीम में। अगर आप रजिस्टर्ड हैं, क्रेडिट के लिए इंटाइटल्ड नहीं है आप, और ना ही आप टैक्स रिकवर कर सकते हैं सामने वाले से। इवन जिसने कंपोजिशन स्कीम वाले से परचेस किया वो भी टैक्स नहीं ले सकता है। ये बट एंड ऑब्वियस है, क्योंकि जिसने कंपोजिशन स्कीम के थ्रू जिसने सेल किया है वो अपनी सेल्स इनवॉइस के ऊपर टैक्स लगाएगा ही नहीं, तो जो बायर है वो टैक्स क्रेडिट ले नहीं सकता है। और अगर लास्ट सबसेक्शन 5, अगर प्रॉपर ऑफिसर को ये लगता है कि आपने कंपोजिशन स्कीम ऑप्ट किया है जबकि आप कंपोजिशन स्कीम के लिए एलिजिबल नहीं थे, तो आपके ऊपर कंसिक्वेंशियल पेनल्टी और कंसिक्वेंशियल टैक्स लायबिलिटी जो भी है वो आप पे करेंगे, और प्रॉपर ऑफिसर आपके ऊपर सेक्शन 73 और सेक्शन 74 में SCN इशू करके एक्शन इनिशिएट कर सकता है। सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द सेक्शन 10। ये वीडियो ज़रूरत से थोड़ा ज़्यादा लंबा हो गया है, तो हम लोग इस वीडियो को अभी यहीं कंक्लूड करेंगे सेक्शन 10 को, और नेक्स्ट वीडियो I will upload for the other discussions. Thank you, take care, bye, and please comment and let me know about